All right, before I start, this is going to be a Cubs rant on simply their lack of effort. I'll go into some numbers, but this is my quarter season, almost the midway point review, and yeah, pretty pathetic. Just got back there from Sunday, had a great time at Wrigley. Damn, I love that place. That's my favorite place in the world, literally. I love Wrigley Field, and the atmosphere was incredible. Drinking beer bats, having a great time. I took my friend who's never been to Wrigley. First time. She's like lived in the city for a year, but she's never been to Wrigley, so I took her and showed her just all the amazement, the energy, and how awesome Cubs fans are, and how amazing Wrigley Field is. Murphy bleachers, Cubby bar. We even hit Tin Roof, the new um, country bar out there. Just had an amazing time. Just an amazing time. So if you're a Cub fan, make sure you still go to Wrigley Field because that is a blessing that we all get to experience on this planet is Wrigley Field. And that's what makes me so upset by the lack of effort by these Cubs. All right, let's get in the intro. I'm Joey Scott. This is Beers by the Ivy. I run this company called Joey Scott Media. This is my sports podcast. If you want to support me, first thing you can do is please subscribe to my channel. I just hit 30. So I got 30 people subscribed. That's so freaking awesome. I'm also on TikTok. I do a little bit Instagram. That hasn't really picked up at all. But my TikTok, I cover a lot of things, all things sports. And then my YouTube, I do that too. But I also focus on Cubs and football will be coming around. If you want to buy my hat, Beers by the Ivy, I got hats in my store. I got a few of them. This is like the Cubs color. And I got, of course, kind of like my Beers by the Ivy color. All right, let's jump into it. Where do I even start? I can start with the stats. Maybe we should, but I'm only going to get to one spot is that this team is lackadaisical effort. It is utterly upsetting, but we're 37-42. We're last in the division. We're last in the division to three small market teams compared to Chicago. Let's keep that on the forefront. Yeah, we're ninth in payroll, and we're last in our own division. We've lost series to the Mets, Cardinals, Rays, Pirates, Cincinnati, Cardinals, Cincinnati again, and Braves all in a row. All in a row. Just want to repeat that. That's home and away. Our entire bullpen is injured. Brown, Leiter Jr., Wicks, Merriweather, Alzolay are all injured. And I would say right now that the only three people I see that with consistent heart on this team, consistent want to, consistent appreciation to be in the big leagues and not taking it for granted, consistent appreciation for Wrigley Field and Cubs fans are Shota, Iginama, sorry I said your name wrong, but Shota, PCA, without a doubt. Loved his effort there on Sunday when I was there. Wants to be there, excited to be there, runs out with joy. Excited to just play center field and be a Cub. And then lastly, Justin Steele, competitor. I think we all know that. I like his fight. He's doing everything he can to win games, and Cubs are just blowing it. Couple of narratives that I hear. Man, Cubs, if we just get away from those one-run, games. Yeah, guess why we're in those one-run games? It's because we're not good enough. Our bats aren't stepping up, and our pitching is injured. Number 2, injuries. Yeah, guess what, guys? Injuries are part of sports. Okay, your medical team, when you win a Super Bowl or you win the Stanley Cup, gets a ring for a reason. Because that's part of the team, is preparing your body and working with your medical staff to stay healthy. Injuries are not excuses. If I was the Cubs, I'd be looking at changing it up, getting a new medical staff, looking at Eastern medicine, do something interesting. I keep saying grounding cleats. I'm telling you right now, future in 20 years, grounding cleats. Look at ground, go outside, ground your feet to the earth. It's healthy. Aye. Third thing, trade the farm system. We're not trading the farm system. You don't trade the farm system for these guys who don't want to give effort and don't have an appreciation to be a Chicago Cub. Right? What we want for the future is we want winners in our farm system have won championships as a group and collective, rising up the ranks to get to the major leagues. It's Pittsburgh Penguins in 2009. You had Crosby and Malkin get there automatically straight from their OHL and Russian league. But then you had guys like Stahl, Marc-Andre Fleury, Kennedy, Orpik, you're right, so Letang. These guys come in together as a group, win in the lower level, come up to the Stanley Cup, NHL level, and win a cup. That's what we have as the Cubs. Third best ranked prospect league. You do not trade them. You do not trade them. And here's my rant right here. This is my rant. For these guys to feel like they are better or like have earned to just be lazy and not show any care or any want to in the field or at the plate is just an absolute joke. And who to blame? I blame the players, number one. When you look at the stats, I mean, Nico batting 241, Dansby 219, absolute ghost. Supposed to be the leader of the team, ghost. Bellinger 272, best 41st best in the MLB, but still I feel like he's got a lot more in the tank. Doesn't bring it every night. Hap 229, Wisdom 200, my least favorite player in the Cubs. Morel 204, big bat. I would say I do like him. Seiya 263. So it's not terrible, but at the same time, it's not a collective winning mentality, and it's never put together as a group or a collective ever. It's just one guy. It's like Morel the other night when I was there, hit a home run. But it's never like the collective team working together. We don't bring in runs. It's like there's like a communication gap between these guys. Like they don't talk or they don't hang out. They're not friends. There's no enjoyment. It's just complete nonsense. We got a rookie. I don't know, is he 21 yet? Can PCA even buy a beer? He's the one guy who's out there going for the extra base, diving in, looking to make positive impact, tracking down balls, diving for the ball. We got one guy consistently out of our starting 8 in the field. One guy bringing it every day like you would want yourself and your brother, your children to bring it in anything they do. We got one guy in a major league roster at Wrigley Field, the greatest landmark, debatably all in America, with one of the greatest cities, in my opinion, the best city in the world, Chicago, and without a doubt, the number one summer city. And you're telling me that these multiple millionaires, all these guys with signed contracts, most with no trade clause, can't even wake up, tie their cleats, and go out there with any respect and honor in their own craft? Complete joke. Complete joke. Cubs sucked forever. And they had a few good runs. That's over, guys. That's over. This team, for now on, after you win that World Series, there's no excuses. The curse has been broken. It's time to compete. Right? It's time to compete. It's time to have honor. Man. Do I blame the owner? No. I think Ricketts has done a good job. Do I like that, a beer's $14 and these are 33 with tax? Pretty ridiculous. No, I don't like it. I think you can make it a little bit cheaper for families to go to a freaking Wrigley Field, Ricketts. I think $10 beer is plenty. I think you'd still make enough money. Why a beer's $14? I got no idea. Other than that, I think he's done his part, got out of the way, and let professionals make decisions. GM Jed, I still think he's done his part. I mean, people are going to say he hasn't, but I think he has. I mean, in my opinion, most of his starters don't try, don't have the effort, don't have the collective, don't want to prepare to win. They just want to try to win. They're not trying to prepare to win. Shout out Bob Knight for that quote. And then you got your whole bullpen injured. Let's talk about Counsell, the new coach. We threw him in like a kid who doesn't know how to swim in a swimming pool. I like him. I think he's great with numbers and great with like, managing the game of baseball, but I don't know if he has the leadership that we need for this team. This team needs a coach who's willing to rip your head off. This team needs like a Bob Knight, a Herb Brooks 1980 hockey men's gold medal winning team coach. You know, I mean, we need a coach that almost the team like hates, and essentially the team hates, but they band together because he's like so tough on them. We need a coach who walks in the locker room and just rips people. I mean, personally, professionally, the whole 9 yards. We need like an asshole to get this guy, to get these players going. Man, it's upsetting. There's so many of us that just love the Cubs and Wrigley Field and what it means, and it's a lot of ours, how we did things with family members and friends, and it's just so emotional. It's just such a beautiful thing that we all get to experience with the Cubs. And for it to just be so lazy when we have the talent. That's what's most upsetting. We have the talent. And we just cannot put a winning culture together. These guys, this group of people, cannot decide, let's just go out and be winners. What would I do if I was the organization? Once again, I'm not trading a single person. The farm system is staying. They've earned it. And I'm going to start moving people up. And what I would do, and you can laugh at this all you want, but this is how I roll. If you don't want to give effort, no problem. We got this thing called Double A. You can go ride the bus. I would send most of these guys down to ride the bus for a couple games, and they wouldn't even play in Double A. I'll put their asses on the bench. That's just how I would roll. You let me know when you guys want to come play. But until then, we're going to bring up the people in AAA and AA that have been given effort and heart, and we're going to give them a shot. We're going to play with a AAA team in Wrigley. We'll let PCA lead it. We'll keep some of the, we'll keep Steele, Shota. But yeah, we're gonna run with guys who just want to be here, and their dream is to be a Cub. And they walk around with the effort needed to be a professional baseball player and to play at Wrigley Field. I would send them all down. Stop worrying about your style out there. Start worrying about how you look. God, I hate that. Just get a haircut, half the team. Especially Wisdom. Derek Jeter, Michael Jordan, simple haircuts. Bird, simple haircut. Peyton Manning, simple haircut. These guys are too worried about, this thing called winning and competing and preparing. They don't have time for fancy, weird baseball haircuts. Jesus. Alright, that's my rant. I'm going to stop and give some positive. Wrigley Field, though, it was rocking. I'll say right now about Wrigley Field, there's only a few places I've ever been where you are just like part of the family. If you sit in the bleachers, man, and you want to just get to know people and you introduce yourself and talk to them, I mean, you'll have conversations with people in front of you, side of you, behind you. And it's just this family affair of, hey, you need a beer? Cool, I'll get you one. I'm going to get one. I mean, it's just such an amazing thing. It's like, there's just nothing like it. It's like you're tailgating. And, there's just nothing like it. It's like Indy 500 for me. It's around the corner, and you go there, and if you're hungry, man, you just stop by a tent, start talking to people, and then they'll be like, hey, here's a cheeseburger. And that's just what it's like in Wrigley. Everyone's a Cubs fan. We invited some people that we met. Hey, we're going to go Tin Roof. You want to come out with us? And they came out with us, complete strangers, but we had a whole day of it, And that's the absolute beautiful thing of the Cubs, and forever will be Wrigley Field. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope this healed some people somehow, some way. But yeah, I still believe in this team. As the funny as it is, I still feel like we have the talent to win, and we can turn it around. But we gotta start caring. We gotta start caring. That's the bottom line. I would really like to see some young guys in the AAA ranks just get some shot and just see some young blood out there and just see if maybe we get some momentum that way. All right, Beers by the Ivy, please subscribe. If you want to support me, get a hat. They're super cool. We're gonna be awesome to wear at Wrigleyville. Just something fun. But yeah, please subscribe. We'll talk soon. Thanks, everyone.